look into your pet's eyes, what do you see? A reflection of yourself? A glimpse into a world untamed by human expectations? Or perhaps just a creature sharing the same space, navigating this chaotic world alongside you? Welcome to the Companions Collective, where we dig into the human-animal bond and uncover the messy, beautiful reality of it all. I'm Angela Schneider, your guide through the depths of our shared connection with our companion animals. Join me as we explore the tangled web of love, loss, and everything in between that defines our relationships with the creatures who know us best. According to her business's Facebook page, Brittni Heywood spreads contagious kindness and fitness for dogs. Brittni is the owner of Potential Unleashed in Kuna, Idaho. Heyo, that's just down the road from me. And she is dedicated to improving dog behavior, manners, and fitness. That's right, she's a dog trainer with a twist. Sure, she'll teach humans how to get our dogs to sit, stay, and heel, but she's much more into getting and keeping our dogs fit and healthy. Brittni also just launched the P.U.P, or Potential Unleashed Pool, a water dog's private paradise. She's built on an acre-and-a-half of her property, a swimming pool, and a large fenced-in play area that humans can rent for 2 hours of playtime with their dogs. Brittni joins me today to share her expertise in canine fitness, highlighting how personalized fitness routines can significantly enhance our dogs' health and extend their lifespan. Certified in both behavior and canine fitness, she gives us valuable insights into keeping our dogs of all ages active and healthy. Hey, Brittni, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Perfect. So my name is Brittni Heywood. I actually was born and raised in Idaho, and that's where I still live with my husband and our 3 dogs.
Oh, wow.
So,
You're just down
yeah.
the road in Boise, right?
Yep. So about 15 minutes outside of Boise and Meridian. But
Cool. What's the name of your business?
so I own Potential Unleashed. And so I do certified in behavior and manners, and then also got my certification in canine fitness. And that is where my passion and my love gets to just explode. And I get to help people and their dogs with their fitness journey.
Oh, this sounds fun. What does that look like?
So just like in anything dog related, it depends. So fitness is kind of a general term. It's a general statement. Most people think of, human fitness, which is going to the gym, pushing weight, and canine fitness is a little bit different, right? So it's very individual. And it really just depends on what the human is wanting in regards to the fitness as well. So
We, and I mean Americans, have a reputation as being somewhat on the pudgy side and, a little bit on the unhealthy side. Does that trickle down to our canine buddies too?
absolutely. So especially in the US, we show our affection and our love through food, right? You go out to dinner with friends, you do this, and we also see that with, oh, well, I love my dog. I'm going to give him this, or I'm going to give him an extra cookie, or what's a little extra food on top. But unfortunately, just like us, when we overdo it, that can start to add up. And for our dogs, that adds up really fast. And depending on, the age of the dog, the breed of the dog's normal or typical activity level, they're not burning as much calorie as they're taking in. Therefore, they're gaining the weight. And then, as we all know, once we put the weight on, it's much harder to get off. And that's even more so with age, right? Because then you have mobility issues and you don't want to move because it hurts. And then it's just this snowball effect. And that goes for our dogs too.
What are some of the health implications of having a little too much weight on our dogs?
Um, so again, depending on the dog, it can take years off of their lifespan. We already don't get enough time with our dogs, and so having a chunky dog can take up to 2 years off of their life, just with that extra weight.
That's a lot of love that you get to miss out on 2 years.
Yeah,
I don't like the sound of
absolutely.
that. So walk us through a fitness session with you then.
Um, so again, it depends on the dog. It depends on what the human is looking for. So after they've been seen and cleared by a vet, right? We want to make sure that that I'm not messing anything up. Um, a lot of times I focus on the full dog, so the whole body, with a point to work the hind end because dogs carry up to 70% of their body weight on their front. That's why as they age, their back end is the first to go because they lose that muscle mass, they lose that joint support. So very simple things can be done to give our dogs that extra little support in building those muscles. So with that, what my typical exercise or workout routine may look like is we do, and again, everything is on a non-slip surface, right? We want our dogs to have good grip, solid grip, feel comfortable because we want to get that full range of motion. Otherwise, that compensation comes out and then we have other problems. So what I like to do is cavalettis. So that came from the horse world. So all it is it's poles set up. So occasionally we will use like broomsticks, mop sticks, like anything straight. We set them up and we have the dog just walk over them. The point of this is actually learning and helping the dogs learn where their feet are and actually picking them up. Because as dogs age, again, they get sloppy and they kind of do that toe drag. So all we're doing is we're helping them lift those feet up.
Ah, cool. Okay. Um, at what age can we start bringing our dogs in for this kind of fitness training? Because I know that like running and big hikes and stuff, you should wait until they're at least fully grown, I believe, to avoid overstressing the growth plates that aren't done developing, correct?
Correct. So, famous answer, it depends, right?
Yeah.
So it depends on the breed. It depends on, again, the long-term goal for this dog. So if you have an extra large or a giant breed, their growth plates aren't technically fully closed until they're 24 months old.
Right.
Those big joints, right? So if you think of that and you know repetitive hard movement, hard surfaces are damaging the growth plates, we should actually be doing different activities than just taking our dogs for walks. So fitness and the way I do it, you can start your dog as soon as you get them home because we're not doing anything crazy. We're not putting them up on the couch and having them jump off, right? You can start low to the ground. As a matter of fact, most of the time, I don't even put dogs on unstable surfaces till, 4 weeks in on the fitness, if the dog is ready. So, for example, in my house, he's 2 now, but Tank, our lab, when we got him, he was in doing fitness with the other dogs. He was just restricted. So, meaning he was on stable surfaces, lower platforms, and not as much exercise. Now, Diesel, my old guy who's roughly 16 to 18 at this point, yeah, fitness has been a game changer for him.
Oh,
New lease on life since we've introduced it. He's got the confidence, but he's also got the muscle because we're supporting him that way. So same exercises, just on different equipment for longer periods of time. So there's both ends of the spectrum. 8-week-old puppy, 15-year-old. So fitness is made for everybody. It's
that's awesome.
just designed specifically for that dog and that age.
So you mentioned your own boy is 16, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what unique needs do senior dogs have when it comes to fitness and overall health in that respect?
Absolutely. So I think the older pups kind of get overlooked, and it's just, oh, they're old. That's how it should be, right? And that's not fair to them. So pain management is obviously a big thing, right? Arthritis sets in. So actually keeping them mobile, keeping them in motion, keeps those joints lubricated. So the more we can actually do, the better it is for them, the stronger they stay, and the more fun they're actually having because you're engaging their body and their brain. So again, typically at my house, we do cavalettis regardless because I like the practice of the lifting of the feet. The cool thing is you can stretch them out so then they actually have to extend longer. So it changes their motion, right? Their extension, and it engages their brain because they're actually having to think and process. The other thing that we'll do with Diesel, my old guy, is we'll just have him put his front feet up on something, and it doesn't have to be anything too high because what that does is that transfers his weight, so his own body weight to that back end. And as
Yeah.
long as he's even, right, the weight is evenly distributed on those back limbs, he's engaging his core, he's engaging his spinal muscles, and those ins and outs of the back end. So just something as simple, the step that you have coming in from the garage or from outside, just having them pause and keep their front feet there for 10 seconds engages all of those muscles.
Oh, that sounds fun and easy.
And easy, so easy. People are like, oh, I don't need all of this equipment. No, you can get the equipment, but really, if you have a dog bed that's an unstable surface and just have them stand on that dog bed, they're having to engage all of those muscles because they're having to keep themselves steady.
Yeah. Because I have a balance disc and Bella will have none of it.
Yeah. So when I started with my fitness certification, Diesel didn't want anything to do with the balance pad, right?
Mm.
The literal balance pad that every person has stood on for one reason or another. He was like, nope, I'm out. That's scary. And now he's up on, discs and orbits and really tall, unstable stuff. So that just goes to show not only is it the body, the brain, it's also the confidence that you're working with these dogs.
You've said often what you do depends on the dog and the breed. How do you tailor the different exercise routines to accommodate for different breed, different size, different age group?
Um, so I look at the dog in front of me and I see, or I also go off of what the humans are telling me, right? So if they favor one side or if they sit funky or any of the signs that I'm like, okay, we've got something weak going on, or if it's just a general, I want my dog to be as healthy as possible. Um, I start again on that low surface, that stable surface. So that way the dog can get the skill and then we increase the challenge or the length of time, right? So quality over quantity always. And the big thing is knowing your dog, knowing when your dog is tired, because they are amazing creatures and they will keep going and keep going and keep going. And by the time you're like, oh, I think we've overdone it, you've long passed the overdone.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing that I like to tell people is once you know the signs of your dogs when they're fatigued, also keep track of how long they're sleeping, right? So dogs in general should be sleeping, 14 hours to 16 hours a day. So if they're sleeping well into the next day after fitness, you've way overdone it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
I would just like her to not wake me up at 4:30 every morning. So maybe I'm not doing enough.
it's possible. Well, and I mean, our big dogs, right? They've got more muscle mass.
Hmm.
So they need a little bit more when the muscle's there. The other thing that I also like people to note is if their dog is limping or gimping or off after fitness, that's also information that I need to know because that gives me information that something else may be going on that we need to look at.
How does injury rehab fit into it all? Do you do much of that as well?
So I am not rehab or PT. So if your dog has an injury, has surgery, they have to do PT rehab prior to coming to me. I can only work with the dogs once they've been cleared.
Okay.
Um, so I work with local rehab here that once the dogs is to that point that they're cleared and the human wants to continue working and have that accountability, that's kind of where I come in and pick up where the rehab is left off.
Oh, that's a fantastic relationship. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's really important too, to keep on moving because we had TPLO surgery in January of 2023, and our rehab that did amazing work. But then once she got cleared, it was like, you're on your own.
You're done. Congratulations. Yeah,
Yeah. And she
exactly.
knew that we're active enough as far as hiking is concerned, but at the same time,
It would have been nice to have some additional, like, here's somebody for you if you want to continue on with this journey. And the way I do fitness with my clients specifically is we do enough homework. I walk them through how to do the exercises, and then they have about 2 weeks, right? Because they don't need to keep building, building, building. The body needs to acclimate,
right,
and then we go from there. Um,
very similar to human bodies and gym.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
do you design a workout that the pet guardian can take home and do on their own as well?
Yes. Yeah. So, um, when people are working with me specifically locally, if I have the equipment that they need, they borrow it from me. That way we know how the dog is going to adapt. Or if the
Mm.
dog's like, I want nothing to do with that, then they're not going and buying a bunch of stuff that then they can't really necessarily use. And the other thing that I like to do is when I am with specific clients, finding stuff that they have around their home, right? So that they're not having to go, because not everybody wants a dog gym in their house. And I get that. Uh, I don't understand it, but I get it.
I
Um,
mean, different strokes for different folks, I suppose.
absolutely. But I always recommend a set of cavalettis because those are so versatile in most, and we can tweak so many different exercises with those. And then, like I said, the dog bed, right? That gives us enough of an unstable surface to use when we get to that point.
Now, I know for myself, I'm not supposed to work my back 2 days in a row, not supposed to do legs 2 days in a row, not like I make it to the gym 2 days in a row. But those are the guidelines, right? Do you
Parameters, yeah.
should you be doing these exercises with your dog every day, or does it depend on the age? Does it depend on the type of exercise?
Exactly. So it depends on what else the dog is getting, right? So my household occasionally they will just get like free run, right? So they'll get to just go run, be dogs, sniff, um, and that's more of the cardiovascular, and they self-regulate there. The days, so that was yesterday. So today everybody got extra or fitness. So what their regiment looked like today was less because yesterday was a higher go day. So today was Cavaletti's front feet up, right? So working the core and the back end. Now, tomorrow or Thursday, depending on what I decide they kind of get to do with weather, right? Um, will be front end and probably some core, right? Because just like humans, our core protects our spine,
Right.
right? And if their core is supporting their spine, they're less likely to be injured. And everybody wants a super strong core. So I think working and being able to work that, daily or every other day is ideal. And then flip-flopping if you're working the front end or the back end.
I've long believed that a tired puppy is a happy puppy. Does that resonate with you too?
A tired puppy that is correctly tired.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Because, I mean, again, dogs will do just about anything for us. So I think we need to make sure that we're doing it appropriately and not just go, 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 go. So you have a tired dog.
But it does play into the mental stimulation factor as well for dogs, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So, again, the beautiful thing about the fitness and conditioning is it works the body and the brain. So you get a 2-in-1 as long as you're doing it correctly because the dog is having to think and process where their body is, how to adjust, right? So once you start to watch the muscles that engage when you just have them put their front feet up, and they're actually thinking and processing, it's just as tiring as a mental game, right? Plus, then you get a little exercise. So
And do you have group fitness classes like aerobics and yoga? And what is it, Zumba?
so occasionally I will do a group class. But again, because it's so individualized and I like to tailor to what I think and or feel that dog specifically needs, not always is a group class a good fit.
What are the signs dog guardians should look at to say, oh my God, I need Brittni?
Well, I mean, honestly, every dog should be doing some sort of fitness at any age, any level, because part of the awesome about fitness is its injury prevention,
Hmm.
right? So we're trying to stay ahead of issues that could arise. And then if you have a baseline on your dog, then you can be like, oh, something's off, something's wrong. Where if you're like, well, I think they're limping today. What could have caused that, right? But you don't actually know. Or what I like to ask a lot of my clients is, can the dog sit? Well, yeah. Okay, perfect. What does that sit look like? Is it a nice tight tuck sit? Are they floppy on one hip? Are they lazily? Because that's information, right? And that tells me either TPLO or cruciate, hip issue, right? There's a lot of information that we can get by just a simple, how does your dog sit? and what does it look like when they stand?
Look, you see behind me that I have the most beautiful dog in the world, and she had the most perfect sit, like that. Oh my gosh. And now since TPLO surgery, that leg is sticking out to the side. I cannot get it back in. How do I get
Yeah,
it back in?
so a platform, to work on a platform, because then she has to suck it in.
Mm,
Um, and the other thing is, you said that you did that last year,
yeah.
that surgery. Um, so she's had a year of compensation. So the
Mm,
muscle memory has changed. Is she fully weight bearing when she
yeah.
stands on that leg? Okay.
Yeah. So it's just her brain taking over now.
It's the brain, and again, that muscle is weak and it's
Hmm.
just easier to flop. Um, so
You're gonna start working out again, Bella.
somebody has to.
She's
Um,
just not happy about that.
yeah, so create something that she can't just sit wonky or with that leg out.
Yeah, I got
Um,
you. Okay.
yeah. So, and the other thing that I like to tell people, and I like people to know this because most people don't, by the time your dog is limping, they're at a pain scale of a 6.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes.
Oh, no.
So
Oh,
that
no.
tells us how good they are at hiding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the beautiful things about dogs is how resilient they are too.
Oh, yes. They will bounce right back. Mm-hmm. As long as it's addressed.
Right. What can you tell us about the way you see the human dog connection grow when owners work with them in your world?
Yeah. So huge bond grows because it's fun. The human is enjoying, especially when their dog learns the concept or learns the skill and does it correctly. You literally just feel the human light up like, oh my God, my dog gets it. And then the dog's like, my human's enjoying this? Okay, let's do it more. So it truly just grows, and that bond and connection it just raises it to a whole other level. And that feeds their whole life, right? That transfers to anything and everything that they do, because the dog's like, oh, we're having fun. The human, I can have fun. It's not this rigid, boring, or over the top. It's like, yeah, let's just go enjoy each other. Let's go do something awesome.
Great way to earn trust with each other too.
Absolutely.
I love
Yeah.
it. Um, what's one last piece of advice you can give to our listening crowd?
Know your dog. Learn your dog, the way they move, because again, every breed is different. They're designed to do different jobs. They all have a different gait. So you have to be your dog's advocate. And if you don't know what is normal, and if you don't have a baseline and something happens, things can go unnoticed until there's a true issue. So if you know how your dog typically sits or stands or weight bears, you're already ahead of the game.
That's great advice. Thank you so much for joining us today, Brittni.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You know what I love the most about this chat with Brittni? How she emphasizes that engaging in our dog's fitness and activity can have a profound impact on the human-dog connection. By playing together, hiking together, adventuring together, we build trust and strengthen our connection to each other. And we learn to enjoy and love each other. It's how Bella and I truly found each other on the wooded trails of North Idaho and Eastern Washington. We are both social animals, canines and we humans, And through shared experiences, we deepen our bond and mutual understanding. This journey of fitness isn't just about physical health. It's about nurturing the spirit of companionship and creating memories that last a lifetime and into the ever after. Thanks for joining us at the Companions Collective. If you enjoyed this conversation, share it with a friend or two. If you have a moment, we'd love it if you could leave us a review or rating on your podcast platform. Until next week, tell your dog I said hi.